Welcome to our presentation of Korean Chaebol. Today we'll present you a glimpse of Korean Chaebol through a cultural lens and identify the relationship between its corporate culture and Korean traditional ideas. Chaebol is a unique economic system in South Korea, which are large, conglomerate, family-controlled firms in South Korea. As a special corporation form, Chaebol are also affected by local culture. If you are Korean, you can live a Chaebol-only life. You might wake up in a Samsung-built apartment, watch a Samsung-owned baseball team on LG television, use your Samsung credit card to buy a new Samsung Galaxy S6, drive a Hyundai car to go to work and make a dinner reservation at a Lotte hotel restaurant. Chaebol built up Koreans' life. Among these powerful Korean Chaebols, Samsung is the largest one, which contribute nearly 20% of Korean GDP with a $1.062 trillion. A popular economist once said, "We can even say that Samsung chairman is more powerful than the South Korea president." Some Koreans call Korea the Republic of Samsung. So let's take a trip to Samsung, the largest chaebol in South Korea, and Apple, a typical high-technology company in the United States, and have a taste of their working environment, managing structure, and business philosophy. Group harmony is considered important in Samsung. Maintaining group harmony is regarded as one's responsibility to company. According to research conducted by American sociologist Shin, it is found that 85% of Samsung workers are willing to go along with group opinions. To attain group harmony, Korean firms also use Sahun, which is a company motto or slogan, to guide employees' attitude and behaviors. As Korea is a relatively traditional country, women in the working place are always treated differently. It is considered that women should pursue being a wise wife or good mother, but not as a capable working woman outside. Talented women may achieve some success in the corporate world, but the level is limited. Samsung is a typical example. The successor of Samsung is always the son of the chairman, and most of the higher positions are dominated by males. In managing structure of Samsung, blood-based succession can be observed. From the founder of Samsung, Lee Byung-chul, to his third son, Lee Kun-hee, and then passed to Lee Jae-yong, who actually controlled the power of present Samsung. A main characteristic of its working environment is a hierarchical structure in which decision-making is from top to down, sometimes even very casual. According to Korean media, less than 2 weeks before the release of Galaxy S3, Cho Ji-sun, a senior manager of Samsung Electronics, ordered to discard the back cover of 500,000 blue version of smartphone because he was not satisfied with its design. After several changes, Cho Ji-sun approved the final version of the back cover. This hierarchical structure also affected the communication style. Those in the lower class were required to use the honorific form of dress. Besides, the ability to recognize nonverbal language is essential in Samsung. Samsung staffs are always proud of their ability to read superiors' face. As for business philosophy, a sense of crisis never disappears at Samsung. Chairman Lee has consistently promoted the sense of crisis at Samsung, saying things like, "Do not get comfortable with current success," and "We are finished if we do not embrace change." When the media reported that Samsung had achieved record profits, Chairman Lee said, "All of Samsung's #1 product will disappear in 5 or 10 years." Taking social responsibility, valuing humanism, and self-cultivation are also important business philosophies in Samsung. Samsung are active in protecting environment and recycling activities. Samsung believes that traditional of value and people is the key to building a creative corporate culture. They support employees' self-development and provide educational programs for them. Samsung also try to build a better workplace to attract and retain the most talented people. Now let's move to Apple. Compared to the relatively hierarchical and conservative working environment in Samsung, Apple's working environment is quite different. Employees in Apple are treated more equally. Even the interns are equally valued as former employees. Besides, the individual choices and private life is often respected in Apple. For instance, the dressing code in Apple is very flexible, and the company also attaches little importance to staff's background and encourages diversity among employees. The diversity in Apple can find its expression in its respect for different sexual orientation, different genders, and different races. As for Apple's managing structure, the inheritance system is not based on family relationship. Every talented employee has a chance to be the top leader. It is notable that Apple has a nearly non-existent organizational structure in which orders can be directly given by CEO to responsible individuals, so that communication can be articulated clearly from the top. The business philosophy of Apple stresses on individualism and innovation. For the individualism, Apple values employees' opinion regardless of their positions and veteran status, and encourages people to work hard to obtain individual success, which creates self-motivated individuals in Apple. As a company specializing in technology, Apple also encourages innovation and creativity. Therefore, Apple is more tolerant to different ideas or behavior that might contradictory to the social conventions. After comparing the different workplace cultures of Samsung and Apple, let's take a look at the traditional culture behind Chaebols, which can be associated with both Confucianism and collectivism. The influence of Confucianism can be divided into two parts: ritual customs and Ren. The succession system, hierarchy, and gender differences are the main expression of the influence of traditional rituals. Besides, influenced by the notion of Ren, Korean Chaebol also attach great importance to social responsibilities and humanism. As for the influence of collectivism idea, Chaebol's corporate culture is not limited to individual success, but stresses more on the interests of company or society as a whole. Therefore, family-like relationships and group harmony are likely to be built inside Chaebol. Also, the collectivism is another reason for the rapidly stress on company social responsibility. Next, we are going to talk about how values in Korean workplace are influenced by its culture with the approach of cultural dimension theory. Correspondingly, the performance of the United States will be used as a comparison. Cultural dimension theory is developed by Professor Gert Hofstede and other research teams based on extensive surveys among 70 countries. The main application of the theory focuses on how values in workplace are influenced by culture. The values that distinguish country culture from each other could be statistically categorized into 6 groups, which are power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence. We chose 2 of them to illustrate the cultural features of workplace values of South Korea. In this theory, power distance index is used to measure the extent to which the less powerful members of institution and organizations within a country expect and accept the power is distributed unequally. The dimension of individualism has to do with whether people's self-image is defined in terms of I or we. At an intermediate score of 60, South Korea is a slightly hierarchical society. Hierarchy and centralization of business organization is popular. Subordinates expect to be told what to do, and the ideal boss is like a good father. Compared to South Korea, United States scores below intermediate, which indicates that people in America are less tolerant about an equal distribution of power in the society. It also explains why equality is one of the most important characteristics of Apple's working environment. South Korea, with a score of 18, is considered a collectivism-oriented society. Loyalty in the collectivism culture is paramount. The society fosters strong relationships where everyone takes responsibility for fellow members for their group. Employee-employer relationships are perceived as a family link. The corporation would also stress on harmony within the business group. On the contrary, individualism prevails in America, which explains why Apple and many other American companies would stress on self-motivating individuals or directly responsible individuals. However, nowadays several new trends can be identified in the development of Chaebols. Many Korean companies have realized the weakness of the Korean management system. Western management styles were introduced into human resource management by adopting the performance-based system instead of the seniority-based system. There is a growing number of Korean managers receiving their MBA degrees from Western universities. They apply the knowledge by introducing new concepts and new systems. These new management styles have made Korean Chaebol's corporate culture more individually motivated, less seniority-based, and less authoritarian. Here comes the end of our presentation. Hope you have been enjoying the video and have a better understanding of Korean Chaebols.
감사합니다.